afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this smoky Thursday.
Boy, is it.
Brady Mallory's here. We found him wandering around outside. Come on in, Brady.
Come on in.
Do some news.
I sound like I've been outside a little bit.
Yeah,
that smoke's getting to me.
It's affecting people in various ways, and it's going to continue. But first, topping our news today, the Supreme Court has dismantled affirmative action in college admissions.
And will he stay or will he go? Madison's police chief has been named a semifinalist for the top cop position in Chicago.
And you don't want to miss this. A garbage truck caught fire on the Beltline today. We have the video. But first, let's take a look outside. This is a
duck's enjoying himself.
Yes, this is the dam up in Prairie du Chien.
At least someone's enjoying being outside. Still smoky and hazy.
Still smoky and hazy, and Julian is in the backyard. And we can see it pretty clearly, but you're close to the camera.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, because it's still a bit of an issue with that smoke throughout much of southern Wisconsin and even for the upper Midwest. And that's going to continue, folks, throughout the next day or so. But it'll start to be better once we get into our Friday. But you can even see from the visible cloud track, it's just a complete blanket of smoke throughout much of southern Wisconsin. So our air quality advisory is going to stick around until noon for Friday for pretty much all of southern Wisconsin, and then for midnight for our neighbors in northern Illinois and for the eastern side of Iowa. Now, talking about that smoke, it's going to really start to at least thin out just a bit as we head into our early Friday morning. Once we get to our Friday nights, it's not going to be nearly as thick as it has been, but still going to be hanging around for us in the next couple of days. So as of right now, we're at the unhealthy rates for us here in Dane County. So again, if you can, limit the amount of time you are outdoors and that exposure as well. And an update for our drought monitor. We are now a bit more expanded for that severe drought for many of us here in southern Wisconsin. Again, we're just not getting the rain that we're looking for. A severe weather outlook of marginal risk from Dane County and areas to the east is going to be in effect for today, as we're going to be watching for potential of seeing any kind of showers or storms later on, which we'll get to in just a few moments. But nevertheless, we're going to stay quiet, and so is the traffic as of right now along the Beltline for the 4 o'clock hour. No issues on the road. That will do it for right now. Send it over to you.
All right, Julian, thank you. In a major decision this morning, the Supreme Court struck down the consideration of race in college admissions.
This forces institutions of higher education to look for new ways to achieve diverse student bodies. The court's conservative majority overturned admissions plans at Harvard and the University of North Carolina, the nation's oldest private and public colleges. Every U.S. college and university the justices attended, save for one, urged the court to preserve race-conscious admissions.
No, today's court decision is a severe disappointment to so many people, including me. But we cannot let the decision be a permanent setback for the country.
Writing for the court, Chief Justice John Roberts said universities can still consider an applicant's discussion of how race affected his or her life, be it through discrimination, inspiration, or otherwise. Both UNC and Harvard said they will comply with the court's ruling, but are committed to bringing together students with different life experiences.
And today's decision leaves many universities and students wondering what this means for admissions going forward, including the UW system.
And as our Braden Ross found out, the answer isn't an easy one. Braden?
At first glance, today's decision may seem pretty straightforward. Colleges and universities can't consider race in admissions process. But look a little closer and you'll find that's not the whole story. Here's how UW-Madison political science professor Howard Schwaber explains it.
A student in his or her essay explains how their life experiences have been affected by their racial identity. That's something the school can perfectly well take into account. It's no longer permissible for school admissions departments to decide in advance that race is a factor, but it's perfectly okay for the student to put forward that argument.
This loophole, as Schwaber calls it, puts universities like UW-Madison in a complicated spot, questioning what and how they're allowed to ask students about race on applications. For example, many university applications include a diversity essay prompting students to talk about race, something that now falls into a legal gray area. Schwaber also says the decision could also call DEI programs into question and complicate how much a university can explicitly commit to increasing minority student populations. UW-Madison Chancellor Jennifer Mnuchin responded to the decision today, saying that the ruling meant they would have to review their admissions process. She went on to reiterate the university's commitment to diversity.
Braden, thank you. Madison fire officials believe a fire that engulfed a garbage truck on the Beltline this morning was likely caused by a mechanical issue within the truck. Check out this video sent in by a viewer. You can see the moment part of the truck explodes. The fire shut down multiple lanes of the westbound Beltline Around 5:30 a.m., his crews battled the blaze using thousands of gallons of water to extinguish the flames. The flames required more water than a single fire engine could carry, so a second responded to the scene to provide more units, provide more water, that is. Units from McFarland and Cottage Grove later responded to bring even more water.
Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes has been named as a semifinalist for Chicago's police superintendent position, according to a report from the Chicago Sun-Times. Barnes is one of 53 candidates from around the country to have applied for the job, with 6, including Barnes, being named as semifinalists, who will now go through the department's background check process. Barnes took over as Madison's police chief in early 2021, just months after the city, much like many others nationwide, was shaken by a summer filled with civil unrest and protests. Barnes and his family have lived in Illinois for the entirety of his tenure as Madison's top cop.
Well, due to the continued poor air quality conditions in the area, the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra has rescheduled tonight's concerts on the square. In a statement released this afternoon, the Chamber Orchestra called this, quote, a unique challenge that we have never encountered in our 40-year history of concerts. The orchestra had never completely canceled a concert on the square performance.
The air quality was just at a very unhealthy level for basically Tuesday, and it's still going on. So when we thought about our constituencies, the staff, the crew that are putting in 14, 15 hours a day outside, our musicians, especially our winds and brass, who are blowing air through their instruments, and then of course all the patrons and all the other stakeholder groups, just holding an event in this certain environment just wasn't safe or practical.
The new grand opening of the 40th season of the Concerts on the Square will be next Wednesday, July 5th. The rescheduled performance for Viva Tempo Libre will be announced at a later date. A surprise vote in the Capitol moves the state's top elections official closer to getting ousted.
But there remains some confusion about her future. Breaking it all down is political reporter Will Keneally.
So this is all happening among the backdrop of continued concerns over the 2020 election. And Megan Wolf, who is the state's chief elections official, has been essentially the target of some of those criticisms. And it's no question that Senate Republicans want to see her gone. But the Wisconsin Elections Commission took action this week to keep her in place, with members of both sides of the aisle backing her in that role. In a surprise move last night, the state Senate tried to force her confirmation through to the state Senate, knowing that it would ultimately fail.
Our constituents deserve and demand consistency and certainty in the administration of our elections. The Commission's antics of repeatedly withholding administrators from the Senate confirmation process will further diminish faith in our elections.
Democrats with visible frustration last night walked off the Senate floor in protest of the action, which passed along party lines to bring Wolf's confirmation forward in the state Senate. But there are still big question marks around this, whether the Senate can force her confirmation through or whether that's actually against state law. So coming up tonight at 5, we'll sit down with an election attorney who's at the center of a lot of these election challenges to tell us what state law actually says. Reporting from the Capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Well, thank you. We'll see you at 5. The Federal Aviation Administration predicts today will be the busiest for the July 4th air travel, with over 52,000 flights taking off.
I'm glad I'm not going anywhere.
Absolutely.
Well, stormy weather and a backlog from days of delays and cancellations could mean continued headaches for many flyers. Laura Aguirre has more on how the travel rush is shaping up.
Coast to coast, air travel is testing patience.
And then I got a text message on my phone from United saying that it was just canceled with no explanation, no like, we're going to rebook you, just canceled, and that's it.
As July 4th air travel throttles up Thursday, the ripple effect from days of delays and cancellations are still being felt.
Oh my God, it was horrible, but check your flights ahead of time, way ahead of time.
Behind that backlog, severe storms that pummeled much of the U.S. earlier in the week, compounding existing issues like staffing shortfalls at airlines and the FAA.
There need to be more resources for air traffic control. That's why we're hiring 1,500 more controllers this year. We got plans for another 1,800 controllers next year.
But one major carrier is standing out.
United Airlines has some internal issues they need to work through. They've really been struggling this week, even relative to other U.S. airlines.
United's had the majority of daily disruptions since last Monday, according to FlightAware. The airline and the federal government trading blame for the problems. But in a statement Thursday, United vows an all-hands-on-deck effort to get their passengers moving and say operations will be restored for the holiday weekend. This promise, as more storms across the South and Midwest Thursday could add new ground stops and delays into the mix, which could be the breaking point for some.
I'm ready to rent a car and drive 18 hours.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
A police officer in a Paris suburb was handed a preliminary charge of voluntary homicide today after the deadly shooting of a 17-year-old that triggered 2 nights of riots. The teen, identified only by his first name, Nahel, was killed during a traffic stop on Tuesday. The shooting, captured on video, shocked the country and stirred up some long simmering tensions between police and young people in housing projects and other disadvantaged neighborhoods. An attorney for Nahel's family told the Associated Press they want the police officer prosecuted for murder instead of manslaughter.
A new class of Wisconsin State Patrol officers received their badges at their graduation ceremony today. The 68th class of troopers, made up of 17 recruits, has completed their training at the State Patrol Academy. The 6-month program that's required to join the State Patrol is meant to put trainees to the test. The recruits say this training period helped them build up the camaraderie they'll need on the job.
Well, it's nice to have good people around you. I mean, with the State Patrol, we have to live together for 6 months, so it creates a good bond for everyone. We're able to trust each other and always have each other's backs.
The recent graduates will now spend a few months with field training officers to learn their day-to-day responsibilities. These new officers are filling much-needed spots in the State Patrol's roster. This includes Carter Mishka, who joins his father, Jamie Mishka, in being a state trooper.
A local football legend is going to continue to bring his talents to the game, just now in a different way. Wisconsin football alum and future NFL Hall of Famer J.J. Watt announced on social media this morning that he will be joining CBS Sports this fall. Watt says he's extremely excited about his new role as a broadcaster. He even cracked a joke that this will give him a global platform to make fun of his brothers on. Watt, a Pewaukee native, retired at the end of the 2022 season as a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year and a 7-time All-Pro.
The 2023 U.S. Senior Open is taking place at Stevens Point starting today. But earlier in the week, players and caddies got a chance to test their fishing skills. Check this out. This is Georgia native Rusty Strawn. He reeled in this giant northern pike from the lake on the 12th hole on the course. Yes, they've got fish like that in the pond. Strawn is the 2022 U.S. Senior Amateur Champion. The avid outdoorsman was surprised at what he caught.
I went over there. I didn't have any tackle, rod and reel and no lures. And went over there, and one of the guides over there said, "Hey, just take this." And I took a little plastic worm and took it out there. And on the 3rd cast, I never caught a northern pike that or at all.
His best guess was close to 50 inches on the fish. Others say it's probably around 42 to 45 inches. Stay tuned at 5 and 6 as Sports Director Zach Hanley reports live from the Seniors Amateur at Stevens Point.
He left with a fishy instead of a birdie.
Very good.
Well, it's Thursday. What else do you want?
It's the smoke. Many think carbon capturing at factories is a key component in the fight against climate change.
But not everyone agrees. We'll look at both sides of this debate when Live at 4 continues.
Join Stoughton Health Ortho Team Clinic to learn how a custom knee implant may be the solution to end your pain. The educational talk will take place over Zoom on June 29th. To register, visit orthoteam.com and click on Events.
As trends change, your bathroom may start to look outdated, so give it a fresh, modern look with one call to Mad City Baths, Wisconsin's #1 remodeler. In as little as 1 day, get a new shower or walk-in tub, back with a lifetime warranty, and with Mad City's Price Lock Guarantee, lock your price in for 1 year. And now during Big Deal Day, save $1,000 on a new bath or shower. 0 down, 0 interest until 2026. Senior military discounts, and call during this program and receive a free $50 Walmart gift card with in-home estimate. Plus, the first 50 homeowners who call now will receive a vacation voucher with purchase of new bath or shower used for a condo, hotel stay, or a cruise. From Madison throughout South Central Wisconsin, call 608-729-4466. That's 608-729-4466.
Here's your parachute. Packed in. myself.
Certain it's okay?
Mm-hmm.
Are you for Imprint certain?
Certainty matters. Like the certainty of congratulating coworkers or saying thank you for being a customer with promotional products from 4imprint. Our expert team is dedicated to making your satisfaction a certainty.
Talk to myself.
Land the perfect products at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Your heart is the beat of life. If you have heart failure, entrust your heart to Entresto. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. And don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor if Entresto is right for you.
Congratulations to Madison Magazine for earning 9 awards in the Milwaukee Press Club Excellence in Wisconsin Journalism Competition, including top honors for Best Single Story or Feature Design and Best Feature Photograph. Take a trip to Paoli with Madison Magazine. See how this small community is using the best parts of its farming past to build a bright future. And watch the skyline as Madison leans into an epic growth spurt. Madison Magazine, online and on newsstands now.
Join Stoughton Health Ortho Team Clinic to learn how a custom knee implant may be the solution to end your pain. The educational talk will take place over Zoom on June 29th. To register, visit orthoteam.com and click on Events.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Welcome back. Summer travel is underway, and unfortunately, criminals see it as an opportunity to rip people off.
But don't worry, we have some advice to avoid being scammed. Travel fraud is one of the biggest moneymakers for criminals, and they often start with an old scheme luring you with a free vacation. Many of these fake offers are light on details, and the promoter often rushes you to make a quick decision. A huge red flag is when someone asks you to pay by wire transfer, gift card, or crypto. Now, if you send money to a scammer this way, it's almost impossible to get it back.
If you're planning an overseas trip, you may see sites offering to help with an international travel visa, passport, or other documents. They often charge high fees and are just copycats of the Department of State's website. Avoid the fees by going directly to travel.state.gov.
And if you're buying travel insurance, go to USTIA.org. That's the website for the U.S. Travel Insurance Association to verify the agency is licensed. Finally, if you fall victim to a travel scam, report it to the Federal Trade Commission at reportfraud.ftc.gov.
Well, the U.S. economy, according to most indicators, is a lot stronger than Wall Street thought. That news sent stocks mostly higher. The Dow Industrials gained 269 points, closing above the 34,000 point. The NASDAQ down fractionally, but the S&P 500 added 19. Well, if new EPA rules take effect, most plants that burn fossil fuels may have to use carbon capture technologies or risk getting shut down.
Congress has allocated billions of dollars in subsidies to expand its use, but it's faced some powerful criticism.
Senior national and environmental correspondent Ben Tracy shows us why some say carbon capture is an expensive and misguided distraction in the fight against climate change.
This is the National Carbon Capture Center, and kind of our main mission here is to test carbon capture.
The National Carbon Capture Center sits along the banks of the Coosa River in Alabama. It looks a bit like something Willy Wonka might build if he ditched chocolate for carbon dioxide.
How long have you guys been testing carbon capture here? So we've been testing a total now of over a decade.
John Northington is the director of this Department of Energy research facility. It's attached to an operating coal and natural gas-fired power plant run by utility giant Southern Company.
So this place is like a very large laboratory.
Yes, it represents about 135,000 hours of testing and over 70 different technologies.
Coal and gas-fired power plants generate about 60% of the electricity in the U.S. and are the country's second largest source of planet-warming greenhouse gas emissions. Carbon capture stops CO2 emissions from going up the smokestack. They are separated out with chemicals and usually injected and stored underground.
Does the technology work?
Yes, the technology does work.
What percentage of the carbon do you actually capture?
Generally in the neighborhood of 95% capture.
But so far, what's worked in the lab has not worked so well in the real world. The Petra Nova coal-fired power plant outside Houston was the first and only commercial plant in the U.S. to use carbon capture. It had technical issues, high costs, and was mothballed in 2020. Its new owner is now attempting to revive it.
It's definitely not a silver bullet.
MIT professor Charles Harvey says carbon capture and storage, or CCS, doesn't make sense because it now costs less to build new renewable energy projects such as wind and solar than to operate an existing coal plant.
$1 spent in the renewable technologies will avert a lot more emissions than CCS will.
He argues carbon capture just allows the industry to keep burning fossil fuels. In fact, the carbon captured at the Petra Nova plant in Texas was used to extract more oil from the ground in a process called enhanced oil recovery.
The frustrating thing is that there is an easy solution, and that's to stop using fossil fuels. We have the technology to do most of that right now. And I don't think we should be distracted from that.
He does believe there could be a role for something called direct air capture, sucking planet-warming CO2 right out of the sky to help avoid runaway global warming. This is the biggest version of this that exists on the planet.
Yes.
This plant in Iceland, run by Swiss company Climeworks, is the world's largest operating direct air capture facility. We visited in 2021, the day they turned it on. These fans suck in air. CO2 is separated out, and then inside these huts, it's injected into the ground, where it's permanently stored in rock formations.
Every ton of CO2 that's removed is a ton that's actually helping fighting climate change and not contributing to global warming.
But it can only remove about 4,000 of the nearly 40 billion tons of CO2 humans are pumping into the atmosphere every year. Larger facilities are now being built, including this one in West Texas.
I'm excited. I think there's a tremendous amount of potential.
John Northington believes carbon capture technologies can help, even if they're not a silver bullet.
If you take that off the table, then you're trying to solve the problem, which is a very complex problem, with one arm tied behind your back.
Ben Tracy, CBS News.
It's a complicated situation, looking for an answer. Well, one benefit of a drought, if there can be a benefit, is the lack of mosquitoes so far this summer.
Finally a win. Well, that would change with some rain. So how do you keep the pests at bay? We'll find out coming up after Julian's First Warn forecast.
Our Just a Handyman and that bathroom update could take weeks or months, but Mad City Baz installs in as little as 1 day. We take the stress out of bathroom remodeling with American-made baths and showers backed by a lifetime warranty.
Yeah, the whole bathroom is basically warranted for life. We don't have anything to worry about, so that was a huge selling point for us.
And now during Big Deal Day, save $1,000 on a new bath or shower. 0 down, 0 interest until 2026. Senior military discounts, and call during this program and receive a free $50 Walmart gift card with in-home estimate. Plus, the first 50 homeowners who call now will receive a vacation voucher with purchase of new bath or shower, used for a condo, hotel stay, or even a cruise. From Madison throughout South Central Wisconsin, call 608-729-4466. That's 608-729-4466.
This right here is confidence in a bottle.
Not only does it change you on the outside, but something in the inside, knowing that you're looking better.
It makes me feel so much more confident than I've ever felt in my life.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Well, today we're going to see one for ourselves and let you be the judge. It's called Plexiderm, and lifestyle expert Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says This one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video, and you'll notice the model has bags underneath his eyes and some sagging, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face, and that's how easy it is.
All right, what's the active ingredient?
Okay, so it's silicates that are minerals found in shale rock, and what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes in as little as 10 minutes, no prescriptions, and very little effort. Even watching the video, this is a real, it's a model, but it's a real guy with real bags underneath his eyes.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera. This is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
And I did this to my father. We were at home, so we applied it to his under eye bags, and let me tell you, we were so excited. In under 10 minutes, they visibly disappeared from view, and now it is literally part of both of our daily routines. He calls me every single month saying, "Hey, Annette, I'm out of Plexiderm, please send me more." And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles. The way you want to do it is you want to have a clean, dry face. You use a small amount because it's so powerful. You have high school reunions, you have events you want to go to, you want to look years younger, this is it.
This July 4th is the best time to try Plexiderm at our startup price of only $14.95. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Well, take a look at this. The Bordeaux Wine Festival put on a spectacular drone show along the banks of the Garonne River as the festival comes to a close. Footage posted on Twitter shows drones appearing to pour Bordeaux's famous red wine out of a bottle into a glass as they hover over the night sky. The Bordeaux Wine Festival website said the Ballet of Drones was a new addition to the proceedings for 2023.
I always think that's so cool.
It is so cool.
Like, that has to be hard to pull off, though. Like, I can't even handle one drone. Thinking about multiple.
I think the computers are running them.
Yeah, even still. Like,
But
that's always impressive.
I was thinking about being the one drone person where, like, the drone's a little shaky, and yeah, that would be.
I think there's a big drone show after the Mallards game.
Oh,
really?
On Sunday? Saturday or Sunday?
Something to look forward to.
I know. Those things are really cool. Very impressive.
If you want to go outside, of course.
Well, maybe we get enough drones that can stir up the atmosphere.
Right. So let's kind of hope that, they can help alleviate some of this air quality issues, because this haze and smoke, it is just a mess.
Yeah. And it lingers.
Yeah, definitely. And so that's one thing we're going to be talking about, how it's going to be improving, or if it will be improving over the next couple of days, and if there's any rain in the forecast. But the first one forecast coming up after the break.
When it comes to the bathroom, the Mad City bathroom, I have to give it a 10.
Fits my lifestyle, and that's what I needed.
With more than 50,000 satisfied customers and an A+ rating with the BBB, Mad City Baths is your trusted source for custom baths, showers, and walk-in tubs. Infused with Microban for easy cleaning. And now during Big Deal Day, save $1,000 on a new bath or shower, 0 down, 0 interest until 2026. Senior military discounts, and call during this program and receive a free $50 Walmart gift card with in-home estimate. Plus, the first 50 homeowners who call now will receive a vacation voucher with purchase of new bath or shower used for a condo, hotel stay, or a cruise. From Madison throughout South Central Wisconsin, call 608-729-4466. That's 608-729-4466.
Attention, Wisconsin veterans.
I'm Tony Evers, the governor of Wisconsin. If you are a veteran struggling to pay for rent, utilities, or other life-sustaining services, I want you to know that the Veterans Rental Assistance Program is here to help. So call 833-WISC-VRAP or visit VRAPWI.com. You've always been there for us. We want you to know that we're here for you.
Ivisia Dry Eye Drops. Made with hydrating polymers, moisturizing hyaluronic acid, and revitalizing trehalose for instant dryness relief that lasts up to 8 hours. Ivisia, we see a better way.
You got me.
Tag.
You're it.
Imagine a world with no drama. With 4imprint, you don't have to chase down the perfect promotional products. Exclusive apparel, bags, drinkware, and more. 4imprint will help you capture the moment and guarantee to deliver your order on time and on budget. Take the drama out of ordering promotional products at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain. You should Angie that.
Angie what?
Angie that. It means comparing custom quotes from skilled service professionals or booking at an upfront price so you can find the best price for you. Get started today at Angie.com.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
A hazy scene has just been the theme for us this entire week, and it continues throughout the rest of our Thursday afternoon and evening hours. Just taking a look outside, you would think that it's either cloud cover, fog, or even some rain, but no, that is just the thick haze of smoke, which has lowered visibility throughout much of southern Wisconsin, and especially for us here in Madison. Taking a look at our air quality, it is still very poor and even unhealthy for many of us here in southern Wisconsin. And it's going to be like that until about noon heading into Friday. We are hoping to see a little bit of alleviation in terms of that wildfire smoke going into our Friday afternoon. But here's a look at what we're seeing. We're still looking at the resurgence of that wildfire smoke to stick around, but going into our Friday, it's going to start to alleviate just a bit, but still going to have some thin layers of smoke as we get into our early Saturday morning and even for our Saturday as well. So that's one thing to be mindful of. And even here in Dane County and for the rest of southern Wisconsin, we are looking at an unhealthy level of our air quality as of right now. So that definitely means to limit your outdoor activities and just being outside in general, especially for those who are into the sensitive groups, because this smoke will be affecting you in a negative way. Now, as we take a look at our radar, so we've had a bit happen to our neighbors to the south, especially over the last about 6 hours. They had seen a pretty big system of some storms that had swept its way through parts of Champaign and eastern Illinois, as it moved its way towards parts of Indiana. They're still looking at a severe thunderstorm threat until about the next 30 minutes. But for us, we've stayed rather dry, except for a couple areas just south of Janesville that saw a little bit of pocket showers earlier this afternoon. Now, we're still within a marginal risk for the rest of this afternoon and evening, but the tendency for us to see any kind of storms developing are rather low, but it's still something to be mindful of as we get into the rest of tonight. Now, otherwise, it's going to be quiet as we transition into Friday. Still going to deal with the hazy skies and the very warm mornings. Temperatures will be into the upper 60s heading outside of our Friday morning. Once we get to our Friday afternoon, expected to be in the middle 80s. Some clouds will start to build, and you might see a couple of pocket showers or even some thunderstorms that'll start to develop, especially to the south and west of Dane County. Getting into the rest of our Friday night, still some isolated activity until we get into the overnight, where we could start to see some clusters of showers and storms move their way through late into our overnight hours from Friday going into our early Saturday morning. Taking a look at our drought monitor, we are now in a severe drought for pretty much everywhere. That looks in the mustard color onto your screen. So again, folks, we're still looking for some rain, and there's not too much of it in this forecast. Take a look at our first warm forecast for the next several days. We're going to be staying warm, hot, and hazy for the next couple of days. Heading into the 4th of July, it's not going to be optimal weather, especially if we're still holding on to some hazy conditions, as it's going to be into lower 90s, so it'll be nice if we can clear out some of this air quality business, because then we'll have a perfect reason to get into a pool or even hit the lakes.
I'm ready for either.
Yeah, I am too, because it's been warm, hot. Honestly, this weather just sucks.
It's miserable.
It is. It's just not fun, and it's just. I just really hope that we can see some kind of alleviation. Because
let's get some rain in here.
Oh,
yeah,
it's practically Christmas. Summer is flying by. Tick-tock.
Julian, thank you. Okay, here's some trivia for you. What's the deadliest animal in the world?
Yeah, this might surprise you. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says mosquitoes kill more people than any other animal as they spread diseases such as malaria, dengue fever, and West Nile virus.
This week, the CDC issued an alert on locally acquired cases of malaria in Florida and Texas, saying all 5 patients are being treated and are improving. Mandy Gaither has more on how one scientist says you can keep mosquitoes away.
Their long
long-legged, annoying, and many times you don't even know they're there.
Humans have been at war with mosquitoes for literally, millennia.
And these insects are more than just a nuisance. Every year, diseases mosquitoes and other vectors can spread cause more than 700,000 deaths worldwide. And in summer, they're out in full force.
It provides a really fantastic environment for the mosquitoes to get out and about and enjoy their daily hunt for humans.
Connor McMiniman works with Johns Hopkins Malaria Research Institute and studies the attraction of mosquitoes to humans. He says that while the insects are tiny, they have a powerful sense of smell and can track chemical signatures the human body emits through our breath and skin odor.
Some people are more attractive to mosquitoes than others, and we think a large part of the reason for this is the way that we smell to different mosquito species.
McMiniman says the best way to protect against mosquitoes is to be prepared. In your home, use window screens, air conditioning, and fans to make the environment less inviting. In your yard, tip out standing water and remove debris where mosquitoes may congregate and breed. And protect your body. Cover up with long sleeves and pants or apply an EPA-registered insect repellent.
Those containing active ingredients such as DEET, picaridin, IR3535 are really wonderful synthetic ingredients that ward away mosquitoes.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The scientists say that while applying an EPA-registered insect repellent is the most effective way to stop mosquitoes from biting you.
Now you also have to reapply it. He says to follow the label's instruction on how often to do so.
Mosquitoes love me.
They do. One of my mom's friends had a tip just for a mosquito bite. She always said put like the meat tenderizer powder on it. I don't know if it worked, but...
The dogs will be happy.
Martha said so.
All right, well, good tip. We'll try it. Coming up next year on Live Before, we'll take you back to 1990 for our Traveler Throwback Thursday, saving bluebirds.
And then at 5, terrace chairs are expensive. That's why people steal them. Well, one parent returned theirs to set an example for their children. We'll show you more at 5.
The Stars and Stripes event starts now at Ashley. Save store-wide with massive savings on special purchases and closeouts at up to 84% off. Save up to $900 on the new iComfort Eco. Plus get free home delivery. It all ends on July 4th, only at Ashley.
If you're stuck between choosing to spend on a vacation or finally updating your bathroom with Mad City Baths, you can do both. We can take out that old high-sided tub and install a beautiful, easy-access shower customized with grab bars, handhelds, and a beautiful shower door. And now during Big Deal Days, save $1,000 on a new bath or shower. 0 down and 0 interest until 2026. Senior military discounts and last chance to call during this program and receive a free $50 Walmart gift card with in-home estimate. Plus, the first 50 homeowners who call now will receive a vacation voucher with purchase of new bath or shower used for a condo, hotel stay, or even a cruise. From Madison throughout South Central Wisconsin, call 608-729-4466. That's 608-729-4466.
We're here today to set the record straight about Dupuytren's contracture. Surgery is not your only treatment option. People may think their contracture has to be severe to be treated, but it doesn't. Visit findahandspecialist.com today to get started.
Announcing Madison Magazine's Best of Madison Readers Poll for 2023. Vote for the Best of Madison online today, including Faded Roots Boutique for best clothing for women. Vote for Faded Roots Boutique and all your favorites on madisonmagazine.com.
The Chevy RS family of SUVs has it all. Whether you want the 10.2-inch diagonal color touchscreen on the Chevy Blazer or extra peace of mind with Chevy Safety Assist standard on the 2023 Chevy family of SUVs. So take your pick. The choice is yours. Get 1.9% financing on select popular Chevy SUVs when you finance with GM Financial. Plus, make no monthly payments for 90 days. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
The Stars and Stripes event starts now at Ashley. Save store-wide with massive savings on special purchases and closeouts at up to 84% off. Plus 6-year special financing with no money down. It all ends on July 4th, only at Ashley.
New at 5, Republicans in the state Senate are making a move to oust the state's top elections official. We'll research the law to see if that move is legal.
The Canadian wildfire smoke that has been here for several days will linger into at least one more. The air quality advisory has been extended until noon Friday. At 5, I'll let you know when the smoke will move out and if any rain will move in.
And ahead at 6, 30 years after the crime, a thief returns their coveted possession, a Memorial Union terrace chair. News 3 now uncovers what prompted this change of heart tonight at 6.
Give the weather satellite a spin. We end up in Pittsburgh.
Looks like Madison.
It could be anywhere. Upper Midwest. 83 degrees, smoggy, smoky.
What a week.
Icky.
Keep going.
That's enough.
Well, back in the early 1980s, there were only 600 nesting pairs of bluebirds in Wisconsin. Then in 1986, the Bluebird Restoration Association of Wisconsin sprung into action.
Fast forward, in 2021, there were more bluebirds in Wisconsin than any other state, over 20,000 of them. We met a man back in 1990 who was part of that amazing Bluebird comeback story. Here's this week's Traveler Throwback Thursday.
Few other birds capture the hearts of so many bird lovers, and it is easy to see why. The eastern bluebird is one of the most beautiful and enduring birds in America. Folks feel blessed if they have a bluebird nesting on their property. It's almost like they were specially chosen for this honor. But like so much of nature, we almost wiped them out. We took away their nesting sites. Bluebirds love to build their nests in the holes of old wooden fence posts, but we took them away and put up metal posts. And as our cities spread into the country, we took away many of the fields these birds so love. But now, that is changing. Changing because of people like Harry Miller. Harry spends his time donating his time building houses for bluebirds. The reason why is simple.
Probably the idea of doing something useful and worthwhile. Getting the birds back is quite important, I think.
Using wood donated by local lumber companies, Harry builds hundreds of bluebird houses each year. Each one takes about an hour to make.
Then this part is thick, and that's so predators like a cat or a coon can't bend their elbow when they reach in.
Harry makes sure the houses are just right. Bluebirds are picky tenants. He sells them for only $5, substantially less than commercially produced ones. And any money he makes, he donates back to the local Bluebird Society. And what is his reward for all this work? That's easy.
We're really getting results now.
See a lot of them around?
I haven't seen any.
You've never seen a bluebird?
Not since I was a kid.
You're making all these houses and you haven't seen a bluebird?
No, I haven't seen one yet.
Don't you think you should see one?
I think so. I ought to be introduced to at least one.
At least one. We've all heard of the Bluebird of Happiness. Well, it is a lot happier these days because of people like Harry Miller.
Should be wearing glasses.
That project worked spectacularly.
Yeah, is it fun to go back and look at how that effort started and then think about now?
Yeah, it was right at the beginning of the effort, and it took off from there.
They do make you happy when you see them.
Absolutely. Well, some interesting numbers unveiled in the latest Marquette Law School poll.
The poll's director, Charles Franklin, joins us next to run down some of those numbers when Live at 4 continues.
Experience an awe-inspiring event at the Duck Pond, July 2nd, starting at 6:05. After the Mallards take on the Green Bay Rockers, get ready for a one-of-a-kind drone show featuring a spectacular light show, fireworks, and music. News 3 Now is a proud sponsor of Madison Mallards Baseball.
Announcing Madison Magazine's Best of Madison Readers Poll for 2023. Vote for the Best of Madison online today, including dwellings, for best furniture, home accessories, and best interior design. Vote for all your favorites on MadisonMagazine.com. Announcing Madison Magazine's Best of Madison Readers Poll for 2023. Vote for the Best of Madison online today, including Fry Construction for best roofer, windows and doors, kitchen and bath design, and best home repair. Vote today for Fry Construction on MadisonMagazine.com.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. There's a sense of pride, community, and work ethic that's second to none. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. We've been here and will continue to be here for as long as you need us. Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers.
Attention, Wisconsin veterans.
I'm Tony Evers, the governor of Wisconsin. If you are a veteran struggling to pay for rent, utilities, or other life-sustaining services, I want you to know that the Veterans Rental Assistance Program is here to help. So call 833-WISC-VRAP or visit vrapwi.com. You've always been there for us. We want you to know that we're here for you.
There's lots of grown-up fun in the water park capital of the world, but where? Well, where tasty drinks meet relaxing pools. That's where all the action is. Where the rubber meets the road and then meets the water. Water parks, they're here, there, and everywhere. Now, where was I? Probably somewhere like here. Nice glassware. Hungry? There's plenty more where that came from. Where do we go from here? Well, just about anywhere. Wisconsin Dells, where it's at. Plan your grown-up getaway at WISCdells.com.
This is the all-new Tempur-Pedic Breeze mattress, and it's designed to help you feel cool. So no more sweating all night, no kicking off the covers, or blasting the air conditioning. Because only the Tempur-Pedic Breeze is made with our one-of-a-kind cooling technology that pulls heat away from your body, so the mattress feels up to 10 degrees cooler all night long.
Save up to $500 on the all-new Tempur Breeze and get a $300 gift. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right Tempur-Pedic.
Experience an awe-inspiring event at the Duck Pond, July 2nd, starting at 6:05. After the Mallards take on the Green Bay Rockers, get ready for a one-of-a-kind drone show featuring a spectacular light show, fireworks, and music. News 3 Now is a proud sponsor of Madison Mallards Baseball.
Well, it's smaller than a grain of salt, and it just sold for more than $63,000. This microscopic fluorescent yellowish-green handbag is barely visible to the human eye. Mischief, the Brooklyn art house, based a popular Louis Vuitton design. That's what they based it on. The tiny replica can reportedly fit through the eye of a needle. The object was sold alongside a microscope equipped with a digital display so you can actually see the thing. Mischief is known for irreverent art projects that poke fun at consumer capitalism.
We need to make the tiniest piece of gum to put in there next.
Little cigarettes?
Yeah. You know, just to fill it up.
The Marquette Law School released a poll yesterday looking at politics here in Wisconsin, and we've got a lot to break down here with Charles Franklin, the director of the poll. Good to see you again.
Good to be here.
Yeah, what's interesting is you've changed the methodology, and a big part of that is how you reach people on the phone.
As people may have said, people don't like to answer the phone these days.
What?
So what we're now doing is we're still doing a completely random sample. This is not something you can just volunteer to do. You have to be sampled. But we sample from the voter list, and then we send an email if we have an email address and invite people to answer online. And if not, we'll call people. And what we found is people really like answering online. They can do it on your phone, your laptop, your tablet, and oddly, that's better than calling during dinner. So we did about 2/3 of the interviews by online, 1/3 or a little less by phone. That'll be our standard model going forward.
Interesting. All right, let's look at some of the results. Governor Evers' approval rating.
It's bumped up quite a bit to 57% approval. He was in the 40s, high 40s, back in October, just before the election, a time when, you know, obviously people were being critical of him. No surprise that there's a big partisan gap on this.
But the Republicans went up quite a bit.
Republicans went up, all of 17% approval among Republicans, but these days, cross-party approval, that's pretty good. I think on balance, you'd take away from this that A, getting reelected is a big help, but B, the spring has had a lot of tough negotiating between the governor and the legislature, but all in all, it's kind of evolved to a reasonably positive outcome, I think, though. Don't say so until it's all over, until we know about the budget finally.
Yeah, well, what about the GOP primary that would see former President Trump against Governor Ron DeSantis?
There, we're finding a much closer race here than national polls are showing.
Oh, wow.
31 for Trump, 30 for DeSantis, 21 undecided, 18% who pick, or 18% who pick one of the other named candidates. We list 9 different additional candidates. And so that's much closer. Trump in national polling is leading with about 50 to DeSantis in the 20s. But this shows, one, it varies from state to state. It does raise questions here in the state, but the biggest thing is among Republicans, Trump is viewed favorably by 68%, but unfavorably by 30%. He's getting 45% of the vote of those who view him favorably, but there's a scattering for the others. He's getting no votes at all from those Republicans that have an unfavorable view of him. And all of that is pulling his overall number down.
Let's move forward to November of 2024, presidential election. Joe Biden versus Donald Trump.
Well, there, Biden has a big advantage, a 9-point advantage. Now, hasten to add, our election will not be decided by 9 points in the end, because we never do that sort of thing. Maybe sometimes. But I think the really striking thing here is both parties are completely locked in. Trump's getting 93% of Republicans, Biden 97% of Republicans. Of Democrats. When we move to DeSantis, it's similar on the partisan line voting, but what's different is independents, who lean to Biden a bit when he's against DeSantis, but go overwhelmingly for Biden when he's against Trump.
I think we have those numbers.
Will that make the difference? Well, if it pops up, we'll see it. But,
it's
okay, so, basically Biden's getting 52 to 44 of independents against DeSantis, but that Biden number pops up into the high 50s against Trump. And so it's independents who are reticent about Trump, not Republicans who are turning against Trump. If you look at the crossover vote, it's only like 5% of Republicans that would cross over to Biden, even though 30% of Republicans say they're unfavorable to Trump.
But that's a long ways off.
It is a very long ways. What I try to say is, remember, this is a snapshot today. Then we'll take another snapshot and another snapshot. Eventually, we'll have a movie of how this election has evolved from now to Election Day. But don't think that the first scene of a movie predicts how the very last scene of that movie ends.
You could have a surprise ending.
Right. It could. And we've seen a couple of those.
Yes, we have. Charles, good stuff as usual. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Happy 4th to you.
Indeed.
And we'll have a final check of your forecast coming up.
Have you heard? We've outgrown our space. Again! Save up to half off floor samples and special orders at Dwellings Construction Sale. Dwellings, interior design and home furnishings. Still Madison's best kept $150 secret.
This may sound strange, but you've been here before. You were here when this wrench was turned, and when this line was drawn. Oh, and when this stitch was sewn. You inspired the Lexus ES to be, well, more you. So thank you. We hope you like your work.
Get $2,000 lease cash toward a 2023 ES 350.
My late father-in-law lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had AMD. I didn't know it then, but it can progress to GA, an advanced form of the disease. His struggle with vision loss from AMD made me want to help you see warning signs of GA, like straight lines that seem wavy, blurry or missing visual spots that make it hard to see faces, like this one, or trouble with low light. That makes driving at night a real challenge. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. GA is irreversible. It's important to catch it early. Talk to your eye doctor about GA and learn more at GAWon'tWait.com.
Have you heard? We've outgrown our space. Again! Save up to half off floor samples and special orders at Dwellings Construction Sale. Dwellings, interior design and home furnishings. Still Madison's best kept $150 secret.
The wildfire smoke has been slow to move out, and the air quality advisory has been extended through noon on Friday. At 5, I'll let you know when we can expect some improvement.
Then Republicans in the Senate are making a move to oust the state's top election official. We see if that move is legal next at 5.
celebrating 40 years of concerts on the square. Join us tonight as we discover how this iconic event helped shape the spirit of Madison and made it an integral part of our community. 40 years, no rests. Tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
And we still have that air quality advisory, which will be in effect until noon Fridays. We're still going to be dealing with that wildfire smoke, which has caused unhealthy levels here in Dane County and is still going to be a problem throughout tonight and even heading into our Friday, but we'll start to thin out just a bit. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalsi will be walking through this coming up at 5.
All right, Julian, thank you. Tomorrow here on Live at 4, Dr. Zorba Pastor will be along with the latest medical news, and he'll be taking your calls live.
Plus, our news hounds, Louie and Oliver, you know them, right? They have the top animal stories of the week. Here's your parachute.
Packed it myself.
Certain it's okay?
Mm-hmm.
Are you 4imprint certain? Certainty matters. Like the certainty of congratulating coworkers or saying thank you for being a customer with promotional products from 4imprint. Our expert team is dedicated to making your satisfaction a certainty.
Packed it myself.
Land the perfect products at 4imprint.com.
4imprint for certain.
We asked people to give their honest feedback on how wrinkles around their eye area and under-eye puffiness looked after trying Tint and Tighten for the first time.
So with foundation, normally it just kind of, you just cover up and conceal things. But with Tint and Tighten, it actually changes the way the skin looks. The lines are actually gone. So you don't get any of that buildup within them and the creases that you normally would see when you wear foundation.
40s is a bit of a shocker for me because 40s, I noticed the skin under my eye is getting very loose. And then 50s hit. And I'm 54, and I really noticed the difference in the firmness of my skin here, and especially here. I'm glad there's products like Tint and Tighten out there so that I can just put this on and not worry about what I didn't do in my 40s, my 30s, and my 20s, and it looks like I always have. It's a pleasure, and it's actually a gift for anyone.
Tint and Tighten shrinks under-eye puffiness, smooths out wrinkles and fine lines around the eye area, and provides tinted coverage to hide dark circles and skin imperfections, making you look fresh and younger. Tint and Tighten is the only cosmetic that blends a beautiful tinted cream to cover uneven skin tone and dark circles with silicate technology that smooths out under-eye puffiness and wrinkles, making the skin around your eye area look flawless for up to 8 hours.
I will be turning 59 in June of this year. Using Tint and Tighten, for me, I'm actually very confident right now that my wrinkles won't be as obvious. It is giving me the support that I think reminds me that I'm at my best right now.
Finally, there's a tinted eye cream to cover dark circles and uneven skin tone. And since Tint and Tighten works in 10 minutes and lasts up to 8 hours, you can look your best without getting injections or fillers. Get beautiful, lightweight, tinted coverage, plus that smoother, younger, wrinkle-free look from years past in 10 minutes. A look that will make you feel beautiful and confident. Try it this 4th of July for up to 50% off and free shipping. Visit tntcream.com or call the number on your screen.
In today's Final Touch, a newly listed California house is gaining a lot of attention.
It's a White House wannabe. An estate nicknamed the Western White House is up for sale in California. Built in the 1800s, the home was remodeled in the 1920s to look exactly like the real thing. It even has its own rose garden and Oval Office. The asking price, $39.9 million. Hey, if you consider the real White House is worth around $400 million, by comparison, it's a pretty good deal. So if you want to live in the White House in Hillsborough, California, here's your chance.
You could have so many West Wing themed parties there. Can you imagine?
You can't imagine. That's our time for now. Thanks for watching News 3 Now at 5.